BEDplaysGAMES.
Hello Pioneers, I hope you're well. My name is Bed, and this is the Satisfactory Plus mod for the game Satisfactory. On the last episode we built these connecting towers and did some other stuff, I don't know, it doesn't matter. I've got some things to share. First and foremost, if you remember a while ago, we knew that Satisfactory 1.0 was coming, and we knew that this version of Satisfactory Plus was ending. They're doing a rebalance and reworking the entire thing from the ground up. Well, I've got bad news. I've confirmed with Kmods, the developers of Satisfactory Plus mod, and they have told me that once September 10th comes and Satisfactory 1.0 releases, and it breaks all the mods, when the Satisfactory Plus mod gets repaired, when it is functional again after the Satisfactory 1.0 release, it will not be this version. This version of Satisfactory Plus that we've been playing and trying to get through right now, knowing the end was coming, will have its doomsday. It will go extinct. It will no longer be playable. Now, let's not get too beat up about it. We knew from the very start that well, maybe not the very start, but at least for a long, long time now, we've known the rebalance was coming. We knew that this mod was no longer going to be available. I still made videos because I had fun doing it. You still watch the videos because you liked them. And so let's be happy about that. It's not the end of the world. If you recall, I think when word of the rebalance came out, we decided, well, when thinking about how to tackle the rest of the season, we said, okay, let's get through all of the Satisfactory Plus content, and then we'll just call it good. That way when they do the rebalance, we can play that, and we'll have a record of everything that happened in this version of Satisfactory Plus. But then I got distracted building tetra. That's on me. It's not unlike me. It sounds exactly like something that would happen to me. But either way, we have kind of taken our eye off the ball, so to speak. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to try to do just that. We're going to try to get through phase 3 and then finish phase 4, including both titanium and aluminum in the next tiers. Right? Okay. So that's the plan going forward. We're going to stop building tetra until we're done with Satisfactory Plus content. After that, I'm hoping to shell up and at least scaffold a lot of the building of tetras. A lot of the buildings of each pillar of tetra. Now, why would I do that? Because I've had an idea, and I think what I want to do is, first off, when Satisfactory 1.0 comes out, I'm going to play that. And I hope you join me. We're going to have a vanilla playthrough of Satisfactory, and it's been a long time since I've played that. I suspect it'll be quite easy, and we'll get through it pretty quickly. When Satisfactory Plus 1.0 comes out, I will start a playthrough of that at the beginning, because I haven't done any of the rebalance yet, and I know it changes absolutely everything. I mean, I still think there's like iron rods and iron plates, but you know, it's no longer called stereotype. There's a ton of different new recipes, and we'll have to start a fresh game to load the Satisfactory Plus mods in and just experience it that way. Right, so we'll probably start that playthrough over in the Rocky Desert or the Northern Forest, so we're not in this area. And then what I plan to do, and let me know down in the comments below, please, if you think this is a good idea, a bad idea, or if you have another idea, that would be cool. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the world editor, and I'm going to copy and paste the pillars of tetra. So all of these things that we took an episode or two building, the tower in the middle there, the sky donut, the 4 pillars of tetra, and then not any of this stuff, which I'm going to work on deleting as we try to finish the space elevator parts. I'm going to work on cleaning this all up. So we're going to copy and paste the shell of tetra, which is why I want to try to finish the scaffolding. And then we'll paste that into the new Satisfactory Plus world. So we'll still have it. So once we get to trains in the new Satisfactory Plus 1.0, we can come over here and revamp and rebuild tetra. I'll probably call the next season something like Returning to Tetra or The Search for Abandoned Tetra. I don't know, I'm bad with names. But I think it'll be really cool. And so you'll see everything that's been built of tetra now, and then instead of just abandoning it, we'll go and we'll finish it next time while exploring all the new stuff Satisfactory Plus has to offer. But what are we going to do right now with the rest of this episode and as many episodes as it takes to finish the content of Satisfactory Plus? Well, that's all we're going to focus on, like I said, until we're done. So the first steps are automating these adaptive control units, these modular engines, and these versatile frameworks, and getting a little bit more cobalt deposited. And that's the goal. So we're going to go back to embracing FAXIT. We're going to get as much cheap and fast power as we need to get everything going. And we're just going to run from, if we need more coal, we'll go to a new coal resource deposit, plop down a miner, put it into the FAXIT network, and just abuse FAXIT as it was intended. All right, so I grabbed the cobalt we're going to need, and let's extend this out a bit. Let's see, let's go, I don't know, that's pretty good. Give ourselves a little bit of a platform to work with. Sure. We're going to want the FAXIT network up here, and we're going to want power up here. And then we're going to use some FAXIT. Let's get a trickle of these components going. Computers, cobalt, plastic, and that wiring, which is not automated yet. All right, let's power it up. Select our recipe. Actually, we can do any of these. Let's actually do modular engines. I have a big container of motors. They never really got automated. They were temporarily automated, and then they were in a container right there. And we just don't use a lot of motors in general. It's probably because I don't make a lot of motors. I bet you if we made motors, I'd use them. So we'll put those in a container. And yeah, so let's get FAXIT network senders. And we'll do 1, 2, 3, and then we'll get a storage container. For motors. Brills. So we'll hook this network up like we have done literally hundreds of times before. And we'll select computers. Oh, we didn't put computers in the network either. I thought that we did. They're just over that way. But I just want to trickle right now, and I don't want to accidentally use up every computer that we have. So because of that, I'm just going to use 100. Put some motors in there. Just a trickle to start. Lead frames, surely we have there. What's the other thing? I should have looked. Rubber. Rubber we have as well. All right, there's our first little trickle. Oh, we've got 100 versatile framework, so we can throw that in. Granted, we need 5,000, so 100's not much, but oh boy, I'm starting to regret not setting up this trickle earlier. Now that I read the number 5,000. That's a big number. It's a really big number. In fact, I'd love to have 5,000 subscribers. So if you're not subscribed already, please go down and do so now. I'd really appreciate it. Well, there, we're 1% of the way already. That didn't take too long. So what can we do? Well, let's set up the next machine. Missing lead plates. Let's see if we have those in the FAXIT network. We don't. We do. Oh. That's nice to know. So what are we making next? We need to make automated wire. Could probably make that elsewhere and then just bring it here with the FAXIT system. We need adaptive control units. Okay, and then versatile framework. Ooh, that'll be the easiest one. Okay, let's do the adaptive control units since we have the manufacturer right here. I don't want to touch these cobalt plates because this is the 900 that we're missing for the phase 3. So let's not mess around with that. Let's do, there we go. Let's throw the 100 versatile frameworks in and the cobalt. There. Making pretty good progress already. Until you understand that I needed 5,000 of those. Holy cow. Let's go down here and look, or maybe I'm thinking of the wiring. We needed something for the hard drives. Oh yeah, no, but we didn't automate it fully. Let's just check to verify that I'm not crazy. Maybe I am. Maybe we are crazy. So we've already got this wiring set up right here. Which is kind of cool. I'm not sure why I deleted that actually, because what I should have done is deleted this one and then put it into the Fixit system. Fixit network Fixit receiver. Nailed it on the name. We're going to need these brass thingamabobbers, is the official name, I'm pretty sure. Let's increase that to Mark III. Okay. Let's go check on the steel. Okay, and the rods are into the Fixit network as well. Well, that's right, I did increase the steel production. Go us, go me. Past bed, doing us a solid. Okay, so we've got rod production again. Should really make sure that this doesn't fill up. Should put it into the Fixit and send it somewhere and process it, but that's not what I'm going to do right now. Okay, let's see. Let's pop down another manufacturer. Pick the next item. Modular engines, and while we're at it, let's grab an assembler, just one. We're gonna want a bunch more, surely, but let's just start with one. Versatile framework. We want brass pipes and steel rods. So let's hook it up to the network, make our selections, and bed's your uncle. We're in the boot and shoe business. We're gonna need to automate motors. Yes, we are. Motors, computers, lead frames, and rubber. Sounds awfully familiar. Yeah, okay. I chose the wrong recipe. Adaptive control units. Computers. Let's do computers there. Cobalt plates, plastic, automated wiring. So, plastic, automated wiring, cobalt plates, we can just, we might want cobalt plates more places as well, so we may as well put them into the Fixit network. We're going to need to plug these. Oops, that's not computers, those are heavy modular frames. Ooh, and we're full. That's a good sign. We are not full of computers. Are we making circuit boards at all? We're not. Why not? We're running out of plastic. Well, let's turn it back on and get it going. I hesitate to use all of the computers, but let's do it. It's gonna make some more right now, and we'll go back and start fixing any clogs that happens while they shut down. And then we'll have to build a computer factory. All right, let's collect the output, and then, oops, I missed. I don't care. Maybe I should take the time. This is not the time to make things pretty. I was really enjoying making things pretty though. I think in the future I'm gonna try, like when Satisfactory 1.0 drops, I'm gonna try to build one whole factory start to finish in maybe every episode. I might have to break it up into several episodes depending on the scale, but just decorate it as best as I can with the pieces that I have unlocked, and then call it done. Not planning to rebuild everything into a mega base later, not planning to do anything later, just do your best work and be happy with it. Okay, we'd better make a motor factory. Where do we put a motor factory? Maybe we just keep going this way? I mean, I made all of these platforms after all. So, what do we need for motors? Motors are, yes, stators and rotors. So let's do it. Let's grab an assembler. Wait a minute. We have a blueprint for this. Nexus Mark 1 assembler. There, we hook those up, and all we have to do is select recipes. And we've got rotors, and we need stators. There. Let's just wait for one. We'll just watch it. Wait for one to get crafted. So then we can put it into the Facet system. Then we can set up a limit. Let's go check in the MAM. I know we needed 10 power shards for an unlock. Yes, here. We needed it for that. Was there anything else we needed it for? I think one of these needed it too. Unlock a new network tier. I do want these network tiers. I think I'll save them for the network tiers. So since we're going to rely on the Facet system so much, that'll increase the speed of the Facet system. It'll make our lives easier. I want to check on plastic and rubber production, and we don't have any. In fact, we're almost out of both. Because we were supposed to put oil in tetra, so we turned it all off right here. So I gotta go plug that oil back into the Facet system. It's been a hot minute. Let's check it out. It's not been that long. I did leave it last night and go and have a meal. And 97. Oh my gosh. Okay. This is way too slow. Way too slow. What is the holdup? Computers. Oh yeah, this plastic is holding it up. Rubber's holding it up. Computers are holding it up. Okay. So let's hope we have some computers, I guess, right? And then we need to expand plastic and rubber production. So 129, that is not a lot. That is not a lot at all. We need to increase the speed with which we're making circuit boards here. We're not making a lot of circuit boards because we're not making nearly enough plastic. Okay. Let's embrace verticality. Okay, let's grab a wall and we'll go up that far. Grab a 1 meter foundation. Oh, I probably should have done this. Yeah, at the edge. Dumb, I can't even set up a wall right now. All in my mind. 6 foundations. 1 meter foundation here. And then away we go. Alright, we're building a proper factory again. I love it. Let's autosave. Let's upgrade that, steal some power for up here. And then what are we going to do? We're going to try to be a little bit methodical. Let's bring the network up as well. I hate this. I hate it. I hate it. I love it. Okay, it's time to build plastic and rubber refinery. So we're going to take crude oil in and we're going to turn it into purified crude oil using a flexible blast furnace. So we need sand and crude oil. Brilliant. So now let's look at a flexible blast furnace. Here we go. And there we've got the solid input on, let's call the back of the machine. And then on either side we've got the fluid inputs. So we can put down Facet wherever we want. But let's how much do our pipelines carry? Pipelines carry 300 cubic meters of fluid per minute. Okay. How much oil were we thinking was over there? I cannot recall. It doesn't matter. Let's think about this another way. Let's grab stackable pipelines. Here we go. And we'll put one every 7 foundations. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And now we should be able to connect that. And we can. Brilliant. Feels good to build a factory again. I've mostly just been building tetra, and this feels really good. Oh, before I did all this and took the time, I should have probably made sure that splitters and mergers can go underneath it. Pretty sure they can. Yeah, they can. That's fine. Alright, now let's take our conveyor. And we'll run this down the middle. We don't need to be fancy. This is out of necessity that we do this, not fun. Flexible blast furnace. Okay, let's leave ourselves a bit of space so we can kind of work out where everything goes. Just take an extra. I was going to leave it there. Let's take an extra foundation just so we have space. Now, how would we split this? We're going to need a splitter. 40 sand per minute. Yeah, so let's use Mark 1 belts. Perfect. Now let's come to this foundation here to grab the splitter of the pipe cross junction. Oh, somebody telling me that you can snap to this. Okay, so yeah, somebody was telling me about this before when I was complaining about how these didn't snap normally, but they said they do snap to the foundations. So what we could do is just put it on the foundation there, nudge it over, and then now we've got perfectly aligned pipes, which is really cool. Really, really very cool, as I would say. Alright, you know what we can do now? Oh, I'm gonna get bogged down in this, I know it. But I was having so much fun. I think I said this earlier. I was having so much fun actually building real factories that I kind of want to take my time. I think I've found a way to allow myself to be creative and make cool builds, but not spend forever on things. And that's what I want to do. So let's do that, and then replace that maybe. Yeah, that's fine. It's perfect. So now the purified crude oil is going to be turned into hydrocarbons and heavy oil residue and asphalt in this oil distillation process in a chemical reactor. So this needs 60 cubic meters per minute, and we're going to make 75. So let's turn that down. Let's turn it down to 60. That'll make our life easier. And we've got 8 per minute raw sludge. So the raw sludge gets consumed in a fluid conditioner with some silica. Or you can package it and deal with it elsewhere. My guess is that that's hydrocarbons. And I'd be wrong. For this one, we can just do a Faxit fluid receiver. And we're going to take all of the raw sludge out of here. Why am I not doing this in a blueprinter? Let's redo this in a blueprinter. And now we want a chemical reactor. And this is for... what? This is just for one fluid. input, so we're okay to put it right there. Alright, we actually want this one to be set to crude oil purification, underclocked to 80%. Excellent. Now we're going to need to do it over here, hooked up so we can see what's what. So let's turn this back on. Grab this bad boy. And power it up. This is for oil distillation. Now by underclocking that and keeping this number round, we know exactly what we're dealing with here, which is useful. So let's figure out what comes out where, and we'll figure out where we want to put it. Probably only need to lay one of these down. We could use the process of elimination, but I didn't think of that. So here we are. Alright, hydrocarbons on the bottom, heavy oil residue on the top. And how are we going to deal with each of these? The hydrocarbons get turned into refined hydrocarbons in the desulfurization process. And the heavy oil residue can be turned into petroleum coke or diesel fuel. So we're going to turn it into diesel fuel and run some generators. This is going to give us our power as well. Alright, now which one does asphalt come out of? Interesting, the second one. And what do we want to do with asphalt? Let's just use the FACSIT network, right? I mean, that'll be the easiest, right? So, FACSIT item receiver. Something like that. Alright, so that can be added into the blueprint. Alright, that's all we're going to be able to fit in this blueprint, I think. Maybe we can put some connectors in the pipes if we figure it out. So let's just keep playing over here while we decide what to do. So we're getting 50 heavy oil residue per minute, and we can turn it into diesel fuel. Autosave. Hey, just for a bit, for the next season of 1.0 when it comes out, I want a bunch of people... I want to have recordings of a bunch of people saying autosave. So if you're willing to do that, please email it to me or join the Discord and send it to me or something like that. But record yourself saying autosave. You can do it loud, you can do it soft, you can sing it, you can scream it. I don't care. Just give me variety. So send that on to me. Help old bed out. So what we'll do is we'll put it in the FACSIT system. So that's not far enough. That pipe won't be straight. So what's more important to us? Compactness in this direction or having a straight pipe? I think probably a straight pipe right now. It's more entertaining to me. So let's try that. So that's for heavy oil residue. We're going to be able to add that right to the blueprint now. And then what's next? Oh, right, the hydrocarbons. What was that recipe again? Refined hydrocarbons, but what was the number? So 60 hydrocarbons becomes 40 refined hydrocarbons. And we're just gonna do something like that. No. Something like that. And this is the desulfurization process. Okay, so now this one is supposed to be oil distillation. We're getting 60 purified crude oil here. This takes in 60 purified crude oil and puts out 40 hydrocarbons. So this needs to go from 60 to 40, so that's what, 2/3? Which is 66.66666666. Okay. That gives us weird numbers here. Do we have space for these things? We do not. That is disappointing. Might be worth going and making this in a Mark III blueprinter then. There, now we've got it over here in a larger blueprinter. We have the refined hydrocarbons. fuel, polymer resin, and sulfur. So the heavy oil residue is already just going into the FACSET system, so we'll have to process that into diesel elsewhere and then burn off. So I'm thinking for the same reason, let's just take the fuel and run it elsewhere. Let us come over here really quick though and figure out what desulfurization. Like that. Alright, so now we've got the hydrocarbons. And we're gonna get fuel, polymer resin, sulfur. So let's take FACSET item receivers, and we're going to receive both solids, like so. Oh man, can I really not? Oh, that's gonna drive me nuts. It'll be fine. Okay, so there's the solids done. And then let's figure out which one the fuel is. Alright, so that's the refined hydrocarbons. So let's send the fuel into the FACSET system. So a fluid receiver, we're gonna do it just like that other one. Make sure we can put it right there. Perfect. And then hook that up. So there, that's the fuel. And now we've got refined hydrocarbons. Ooh, we have just enough space. So what do we do with refined hydrocarbons again? Now we have polymerization. Awesome.
BEDplaysGAMES.